Welcome everybody to the 12th Man FC. My name is Edwin, and we've got some amazing Premier League action coming up this weekend after a very long 2 weeks of international football. We got some good talking points to go over, so let's get straight into it with the first match of the weekend, which is going to be Nottingham Forest hosting Chelsea in the Premier League on Saturday. This is going to be a very big match for Ange, which I don't think he's going to walk out of. Very too happy, to be completely honest. But yeah, Ange having a very rough start to life at Nottingham Forest. 0 wins, 2 draws, and 5 losses in 7 league matches this season for the club. He was appointed at the start of September after Nuno Espirito Santo was sacked from the club. And yeah, people are already talking about Ange Postecoglou getting the sack as well, just over a month from being appointed. And I do think that it is inevitable. Unfortunately, I do see it happening after this weekend. I don't think that Nottingham Forest is going to get the win against Chelsea, but yeah, having a very rough start to life with the club. I don't think that things are going to get any better. Chelsea, on the other hand, coming into the match with some type of momentum, having won their last Premier League match in dramatic fashion against Liverpool, which City desperately needed. So I thank Esteval for that winning goal. But yeah, Chelsea went all of September with 0 wins in the league. In fact, I think the only win that they had in September was their Champions League home match against Benfica, which came at the end of September as well. But yeah, their last match against Liverpool, and then also that win with Benfica as well. I think they're coming into the match, building some momentum, and they're hoping to kind of carry that on against Nottingham Forest. So I do think that Chelsea are going to get the 3 points. I think that they have to get the 3 points if they want to stay within touching distance of a Champions League spot all season, because let's be completely honest, Chelsea have been in very poor form this season, especially after winning the Club World Cup in the summer. So yeah, if Chelsea want to compete for a position in the Champions League for next season, I think that they definitely have to get a lot more consistent, and they have to keep in touch and range of that top five finish. I don't think that they're going to compete for the title, which is unfortunate because my Premier League predictions going into this season, I did feel like Chelsea was going to have some type of revelation, and it was going to be a 3-legged race between Arsenal, Liverpool, and Chelsea, and seemed to be wrong about that one. But hey, it's all good, because now that leaves room for City to be in a 3-legged race. But yeah, anyway, I think Chelsea are going to be competing for a top 5 spot with Crystal Palace, which brings us on to the next match, which is going to be Crystal Palace hosting Bournemouth on Saturday as well. Both of those teams, Palace and Bournemouth, are competing much better than I think most people thought that they would this season. Bournemouth especially, they are on fire right now at the moment, sitting in 4th place, just 2 points above Crystal Palace, who are in 6th spot. And Antoine Semenyo, in the form of his life, I believe that there's like a £100 million price tag on his head right now. He's got 9 goal contributions in 7 appearances so far this season, 6 goals and 3 assists, which is amazing. That is beautiful form. I think that he's an outstanding player. I think Bournemouth have something amazing going on, especially after losing such top players at the end of last season this summer, with the likes of Ilya Zabarny to PSG, Dango Otara to Brentford, Kirkes to Liverpool, and then more notably Dean Huijsen to Real Madrid. Top players that they have missed out on. And then you can even extend that further with the likes of Jadon Anthony, Philip Billing, and then Mark Travers, and then also Chris Mapan as well. So they lost a good amount of players over the summer, and this season they are just performing beautifully. I don't think anybody expected some type of this type of cohesion to come into play this season. And then Crystal Palace, obviously, they had a 19-match unbeaten run, which was snapped and finished during the last Premier League match week against Everton. Goal from Jack Grealish. Thank you, Jack Grealish, for that one. City needed that one too. But yeah, Crystal Palace having an absolutely amazing year as a whole as well, winning that FA Cup and then winning the Community Shield. And then also ending Liverpool's unbeaten run to be the last remaining unbeaten team in the league. I think they are a team that are definitely to be reckoned with, and they're going to be surprising a lot of people this season. And I do think that they can compete for a Champions League finish come the end of the season. They're also in Europe right now too, so they have a lot going for them. I do think that Crystal Palace probably edge Bournemouth out as a whole because I think they have a stronger cohesion and foundation under Oliver Glasner. But what's interesting about this match is that after Crystal Palace's loss to Everton, Glasner was asked about how he was feeling now that the 19-match unbeaten run is over, and Glasner said something along the lines of like, well, the streak ended. Now we could start a new streak, and try to expand or even beat the streak that we just had right now. But what's very interesting about that is that 19-match unbeaten run started in April in a 0-0 draw against Bournemouth. So I think it's a cool coincidence that they have the potential to start a new unbeaten run against Bournemouth again. So I do think that history is kind of on their side with that one, and I do see Crystal Palace edging that one out. However, I wouldn't be shocked if Bournemouth came away with something from the match, whether it be a draw or a win. I think it could be anyone's game, but I do think that Crystal Palace kind of edge it out, especially after Mateta made his first appearance for France during the international break and got his first goal as well for his country. So he's definitely going to be coming into this match with a lot of confidence and momentum as well. So yeah. Okay, next we got one of the matches that I'm going to be paying the most attention to, and that is City versus Everton on Saturday as well. I believe, no, it's not the last match on Saturday, but City versus Everton. It is important that City pick up the 3 points against Everton on Saturday if they want to stay in touch and distance of this title race. I said it in my last video. I think City need to be nothing but perfect if they want to stay in the title race. I didn't expect that they would be in the title race this season just because of the fact that Pep's kind of going through like a rebuilding phase with the team right now. And, we're not playing the greatest football, but I don't think that we're performing poorly either. It's just a matter of kind of like seeing out a full 90 minutes to get a result type of thing. But yeah, City needs to stay consistent to keep up with Arsenal. Everton having an amazing season so far. I think they're sitting in 8th, if I'm not. Yeah, they're sitting in 8th right now. Jack Grealish is in amazing form. I think he's probably in the form of his life, barring the treble-winning season. But unfortunately, Jack Grealish will not be playing for Everton. Fortunate for us City fans, but unfortunately, Jack Grealish will not be playing for Everton since he is on loan at Everton from City, and the rules state that they can't play against players out on loan can't play against their parent club, which however you feel about that, that's just what it is. But I think there's also great news for City in the fact that Marmoush and Ryan Aït-Nouri were back in training today, the 16th of October. So having them back into the team is amazing. Rodri did miss out on training today as well, so I don't really see him being a part of the matchday squad, which I'm totally okay with because I want him to get back to 100%, given the player that he is and how important he is to the team. I don't really want him to I don't want him to be rushed back into playing and having to consistently deal with some type of issue. He did go off in the first match against Brentford last time out, and it looked kind of serious, and it did freak me out for sure because I did not want him to be sidelined for much longer. But he came out after the match and said that everything seemed fine and that it was just a precaution to take him off. So that's good, but I think to have him kind of like sit this one out, I think it's probably best for everybody if you want to see him back to full fitness and back to his best and in the near future. But anyway, yeah, Haaland is also on pace to have the best scoring season of his career so far. He is on an insane run of scoring form right now. He has 21 goals and 12 appearances in all competitions this season. That is insane. Harry Kane is the next person with something as ridiculous as that. I think he's on like 19 goals in 12 appearances in all competitions as well. So yeah, Haaland is in amazing form. But I am kind of weary of the fact that City seem to be overly reliant on Haaland to get the goal scoring and win us these matches. If you look at everything, Haaland, the only other people that have scored for City in the league this season, they all have one goal in the league each, while Haaland has however many he has. So that is a bit concerning for me, just because like I'm used to City having such an attacking threat in general, all at one time, and you do have multiple players getting into the double digits in goals and assists, and just being an immense attacking threat and having so many outlets to goal. And right now that seems to be very like singular, which I don't know. I'm not sure that that's a good thing, but I'm also not sure that that's necessarily a bad thing either. I don't know if the way that City are set up is set by design by Pep Guardiola, so that he is like the focal point in attack and our only outlet. I think having Marmoush back into the side offers a lot of attacking option, especially in chance creation and creativity as well. So I think him getting back into the team as soon as possible can create a lot of goals for him and for the club. Phil Foden's obviously coming back into great form as well, so I do think that he'll get into the double digits as well. And then, although Nico O'Reilly has been doing a beautiful job at left back in the matches that he's played there so far this season, having Ryan Nori, who is an actual left back, coming back into the side and coming back to full fitness, I think could give Nico O'Reilly a good chance to get into more attacking options during matches in general, just like positionally, and he can maybe be a good outlet for chance creation or even goal scoring himself. So I think that's something that we could look forward to. I do really hate that City got rid of Kevin De Bruyne and Julian Alvarez, just because of the fact that Kevin De Bruyne is still performing at a very, very top level right now at Napoli. He's bagging in a lot of assists. He's scoring goals for Napoli as well. Napoli, I think, are sitting first in Serie A right now. So we're definitely missing his chance creation and just what he brought to the team in terms of control, creativity, attacking, and just stability in the middle of the park. And so yeah, it's unfortunate. Julian Alvarez as well was another one who was an amazing goal scoring threat. He was in such great form at City overall. So then letting him leave to Atletico Madrid, although I know it was mainly like him that wanted to leave for playing time. I wish that the club was able to kind of like realize, he is an amazing player. He's a generational type of player, in my opinion. And I mean, look at the spot the City are in right now, where they're lacking in having multiple goal threats. So I do think that we could highly use him. And then there's also Claudio Echeverri, a 19-year-old Argentine who we bought and came to the club over in January. He went back to River Plate to finish off the season, which is where we got him from. Played in the Club World Cup in the summer for us, and then he was loaned out to Bayern Leverkusen for consistent game time, and that hasn't really been going to plan as well. I think he's only got like about 82 minutes so far this entire season for Leverkusen, and reports came out this week that apparently he wanted to go to Girona, and Girona were very close to signing him. Girona is also a sister club of Manchester City. Girona fall under that City Football Group ownership. So they have the City philosophy and way of playing and everything like that. So I think that was probably the better option for him. But the reports are saying that Echeverry's agent blocked the move and not forced him, but pretty much had him go to Leverkusen instead. I think that the focus there was more on like player development rather than kind of him understanding the system as a whole that City want to play under and growing in that realm, as opposed to, which is what they went for, like the player route option of him just developing as a player in general, like on his own, rather than becoming like a system-based player. So the fact that he's hardly getting any minutes now, and we're kind of struggling for goal creation and goal scoring as an attacking team, I think maybe in January we could look at the possibility of bringing him back, or even bringing him back and then sending him out to Girona, where he could kind of get the development that City would want him to get, or we could keep him and see if he works out as a good attacking option for us in general. I know he's still young; he's like about 19 years old, so there's a lot that could be had from there. But anyway, yeah. City need to stay completely consistent and stay damn near perfect if they want to keep up with Arsenal. Which brings us to our next point, and then that's whether you want to accept it or not. Arsenal are the team to keep up with this season. They are the current favorites to win the league this season, and I don't know. I feel like with every match that goes by, the people that don't want to accept that, they keep on saying, "Oh, if they win this match, then maybe I might take them serious," and then it kind of just gets recycled and recycled. But Arsenal are the real deal. They have the better chance out of any team this season to win the league because of the fact that they have a very solid foundation that they have built over the past few seasons. That team, that core team, the core of their team has been together for multiple seasons already. And they've added a good amount of players to supplement that core for team depth. Yes, they recently lost Odegaard again to injury, but they've built to a point that they have the depth that they could deal with that, which has hindered them in previous seasons before where they fell short in the title race. So now they have the depth. They're playing amazingly, and yeah, they are the team to beat. Look, Arsenal facing Fulham on Saturday, the last match on Saturday. I do see Arsenal coming away with 3 points on that one. However, Fulham have given Arsenal pretty tough matches in recent history. In the last five, Fulham just have one win against Arsenal. Then they have 2 draws and 2 losses. So I do see Arsenal coming away with the 3 points there, and further solidifying the fact that they are the team to beat this season. If another team wants to win the league, Marcel, Liverpool, and City. But yeah, I also wouldn't be surprised if Fulham were to come away with a draw. I don't see Fulham winning the match, but I could see them coming away with a point, and really slowing Arsenal's run of momentum down for Liverpool and City to kind of like catch up and really make things interesting. And yes, obviously that's what I'm hoping for. But yeah, we'll see. Okay, now the last match and the main matchup of the weekend on Sunday, Liverpool versus Manchester United. Liverpool having a very tough month. Last month, having lost 3 matches in a row in our competitions, 2 matches in a row in the league, having lost to Crystal Palace, then Galatasaray in the Champions League, and then Chelsea in the league. Everyone's wondering what the hell is going on with Liverpool. And I think the answer is very simple. It's just the fact that Liverpool are also going through somewhat of a rebuild. Yes, they won the league last season, but that team, Arne Slot walked into that team, which was already going to win the league. The team that Arne Slot walked into was Jurgen Klopp's team. If Jurgen Klopp was the manager last season, I do fully believe that he would have won the league as well. Now, this is Arne Slot's year to kind of like build his own foundation, steer the boat in whatever direction he wants to steer the boat in, and bring on players that he wants to bring on for his own philosophy and to build something for Liverpool in the coming years. So yeah, I think it's normal that we're seeing this. Obviously, Liverpool had an amazing start to the season, having being perfect in the first 5 matches of the season. But those matches were shaky wins. They left it late in each of them. They didn't have, they didn't put games to bed early on or early on into the second half at least. So I do think that although they got those wins and they were looking very strong, with some holes, I think that the whole group that Arne Slot is trying to put together just needs some time to adapt to itself. You got players like Wirtz, who's coming from the Bundesliga. Obviously, it's a different league, so he has to adjust to it. Frimpong as well, who's coming in from the Bundesliga, has to adjust to the speed of the Premier League again. He was a City Academy player, so he's familiar with the physicality and the intensity of English football, but he was away at Leverkusen and where they won a Bundesliga title and everything, so he's kind of getting familiar with the actual Premier League Zoboslai's been put into right back and playing in midfield and everything like that. So I think everything just kind of needs to come together for them, and so that there's a lot of cohesion, and that's going to take some time. Which is why I think that Arsenal have the better chance out of anyone to win the league, because they already have the cohesion and foundation that they've worked on. So yeah, I think this is going to be a very big match for Liverpool. Manchester United will be coming to this into this match with some type of hope and confidence, given that Liverpool lost their last two league matches. But if you're Liverpool, if you want to get back to winning ways, what better way to do it than against Manchester United, a native rival, in the league and in world football as well. So like, I don't think it's gonna look good for United, if I'm being honest. Another one as well. Ruben Amorim was confirmed by what's his name, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, that that they're gonna give Ruben Amorim at least 3 years to try to build something with Manchester United. And so I don't think that he's gonna get the sack anymore. Things could change in that regard. I'm not sure, but just going by Ratcliffe's words himself, it seems like Amorim's going to be there for at least 3 years. So we'll see how that goes. But I don't think that United have enough to kind of come away with anything from that match. If they do, the most I see is probably a point. So I don't really see United picking up 3 points. I don't see any upset. I don't see United dominating the match or anything like that. I see Liverpool coming out there and showing why they are the current champions. So who knows? It might be another 7-0 thrashing. You never know. But yeah, and then just to kind of like go a little bit deeper into Liverpool, you kind of wonder what they're going to be like once Mohamed Salah leaves for the African Cup of Nations in December, and is gone for nearly a month, depending on how Egypt do in the tournament altogether. But the most that Mohamed Salah could be away for is a month. But he is going to be leaving in December during a very, very tough period in the league for any club, because of the influx of matches and everything like that. So yeah, big matches in the league this weekend. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Hit the subscribe button, hit that like button. Let me know what you guys think. I'll see you on the next one.